Hello my darling Fumi Nation, how are you? How are we? My name is Fumi Desalu-Vold. For those of you that are stopping by for the very first time, you guys are so very welcome indeed. One of you asked me the question, Fumi, how do I get to know myself? How do I know myself? Is there a way for me to know myself? And I said, yes, my darling, there is a way for you to know yourself. And I decided to share it with you here because I think a lot of you go through school and nobody tells you about how to take care of you. And you don't know how to take care of you. And I'm not talking about cleaning up your room and paying your bills. I'm talking about the emotional you, the mental you, the spiritual you. All those yous combined is what makes up you. And still, some people are not exactly able to express themselves or really articulate who they are. I tell you this off the bat, knowing you is really process of elimination. Blue or green, hot or cold, this is how you get to know yourself. Once you know yourself, then you know in what direction you want to go, really, and you know most importantly what kind of relationships feed you and what kind of relationships drain you. That's why we're doing the episode. What kind of relationships feed you? What kind of relationships drain you? So I tell you this. I'll give myself as an example. I know I do not like people that are late. It really drives me up the wall. I don't like people that have loud ringtones on their phone. On the train, in a restaurant, brah, brah, it drives me insane. I can't stand it. The second you do it, I might not say anything. The second time, I really will tell you, can you lower the volume of your phone? It drives me nuts. So I know that I like certain things, and I also know that I don't like certain things. Now, in so doing, I don't have patience for this. I like swimming. I like going on vacations. I like going to Paris. I love going to Angola. I love jollof rice. Those are things. But we're talking about you. How you love to be loved. What kind of relationships do you enjoy? And when I say what kind of relationships do you enjoy, what kind of relationships feed you? For example, you have a girlfriend, and I'll give Christina for example. Christina has never wavered from the day that I met her till now. She's still the same person. She's somebody who will come to the house. She always brings something for Adrian, for Ula, for me, or for the house. She always does that. Maybe she's cooked, she'll bring food too. That's the kind of person that she is. Very, very loving in the sense that she's very nurturing. She will say, Fumi, I'll meet you at Adrian's school so we can walk home together. She's a very loving, very giving. That part of her is a part of her that I love and like, and I've realized that I like that surrounded around me. Somebody who is very caring, who is very giving, because I am like that. Because if I love you and I like you, you don't have to ask anything of me. I will do it. Ula is the same way. It happened just this afternoon. We dropped Adrian off and he went swimming. I said, I'll see you later on in the day. I went grocery shopping and I bought him a couple of treats. He came home and he had bought me a couple of treats. Ula has been like that for the 15 years that I have known him. This is how I know part of myself. That there's a part of myself where I know I like being loved on, appreciated and cherished. Now, you will say, Fumi, everybody likes being loved on and cherished. That is true, but I'm being really specific. That's the thing. I'm being specific about how I like it. That is part. Who is this? You have to wait. I'm talking to Fumi Nation. So that is how you get to know yourself. Why? Because it's important for these needs are fed and are met in a relationship. It's going to be a little bit uncomfortable, but that's what you like. You got to tell him. He's not a mind reader. And see how it goes from there. In a relationship, he's not going to know certain aspects of you. But you know them. So you vocalize them. And so it goes on from stage to step, from stage to step, from step to stage. Do you like early mornings? Do you like late nights? This is a part of you that will stay on, because if this is who you are in the mornings, you will thrive in the mornings. If this is who you are in the evenings, you will thrive in the evenings. Don't try to be something that you are not, because you run into trouble. It has to be what you like that comes naturally to you. It comes to you. That also talks about the jobs that you do. You cannot begin to know how many people, and I'm going to speak for my Nigerian friends that did engineering, that did accounting, that did whatever, and they are now transcended and gone into where they have their own businesses, they have their own nightclubs, they have their own fashion houses, they have their own hair products, because truly that was who they were. If you like something, if you gravitate to something, naturally, that is part of who you are. If somebody opens you up, or no matter whatever the time, you meet and see that person is good for you. Your reaction is obvious. A relationship that you don't have to struggle with, that you don't have to constantly prove yourself or explain, or you're misunderstood, or you're this, that person is not for you. That is how you know yourself, because you begin to know all the things that you like, one, all the things that's so important work for you, two, all the things that make you productive and proactive. That is who you are. You cannot change that, because your whole being and essence revolves and reacts in a way around that situation, person, that it doesn't to somebody else, where you're like, I have those struggle relationships, even in my own stage and age. And guess what? I've begun to shed them. There was somebody just the other day. It's been a struggle. Every 1 or 2 years, it's something really crazy. And I'll be like, say what? And you realize that this person is not for you. That they are for themselves. That they will take the opportunity and capitalize on, I'm your friend, I love you, because they can get something out from you. Sometimes I just pretend that I didn't see it. I just like, okay, whatever. And when it goes on and on, you realize that you're working too hard on something that is obvious to you is not sincere. They want something from you because you're in a position to give to them. But prior to that, you didn't see them nowhere. You see, Christina has been consistent. She has been very consistent. And in so doing, I can see the love and the friendship. Ula being consistent. And that is why I have soared. I have grown, I have evolved, I have bloomed, I have glowed, because I've had the right people around me and I've kept the wrong ones out, because I've gotten to know me. I've gotten to know what I like. So when I see them coming, I can entertain them because they're at a distance. But if they come too close and interfere with my productivity, with my glow, with my positivity, I get rid of them right away. Or I just drop them right there. Really, there's no love lost anyway. Now, here's the catch. Sometimes it could be family members. What do you do then? Keep your distance. You will have to keep your distance. What if we all live in the same house? You're going to have to move. You know why? Because in knowing you and knowing that this is a great source of discomfort, it is stifling your progress. It is like a cork in a bottle. And you know when you open the cork and then just see that fizz, that's your life. The second you get rid of that person, your life expands and blows up. If you continue to be around that person, that's exactly how you're going to be until you can barely contain yourself and you implode within. And everything around you is contaminated. You have to know yourself. You have to know your limitations. You have to know your, you have to know your tolerance. You know that at 55.5, that's exactly how much you can stretch before you snap. How do you know? Because you tested it and you snapped at exactly that percentage. So when you compile everything, you now realize, and I'll use me as an example, I'm a very happy, positive person, and I have my greatest faith in my Lord. I love my Lord up above because he showed me time and truth that he got me, and that if I work hard, which I enjoy doing, if I'm doing what I love. So for me, what is it that you love? I love entertainment. I love talk show hosting. I love it. I love fashion. I love exercise. I love sisterhood. I love motherhood. I love wifeyhood. I love being all of those things. But I only love them when it's reciprocated. Translation, when my husband is kind, loving, and good to me, then I soar. If my husband is not, I need to know what is wrong, because what we do as women, oh my God, it has to be me. Oh my God, he's in love with somebody else. Oh my God, it's over. No, what is wrong? And you have to be able, which I was not good at, and I was learning, because I learned this about myself. If I love somebody, I found it very hard to speak up when I didn't like something that person that I loved did to me. So I would suffer in silence. In suffering in silence, it was like cutting off the oxygen. I had to find a way to speak up. And I found a way. Go to them ever so gently. Hi, how are you? Hi, Oski, how are you? Of course, it's not as light and bright, but I want to talk to you about something. You know, the other day, it kind of hurt my feelings, and I don't think you meant it. But I just realized that you've been a little bit cool towards me, and I just wanted to know what was going on. So I thought I should ask. Do you know I wouldn't say any of that to a friend, family member, or partner? I'm not talking about Ula, I'm talking about, former relationships. I wouldn't say anything. And then I realized that it was affecting me because I couldn't pretend, and it would come out in my actions. Because when I get angry, I don't know how to express myself. I had to learn that about me and correct it. Because it's not only about the good things that you like about yourself. there are also the things that are not great about you that you have to improve on. That is why I say it's so important to know yourself, because you see where you have to improve on and you see where you are good at. If you combine and bring everything up to the table, level it off, you're a fabulous human being. You become a fabulous human being who lives a wonderful life and who is surrounded by only the loved up and the fabulous. It's like getting a basket of vegetables or a bag of green rice and there's not a black grain in that bag. Do you know how fabulous that bag is? Yes. That's what I'm talking about. Get to know yourself. Get to know yourself. And how to know yourself is by bringing up the things that are difficult for you to do. Sort those ones out. Accepting who you are also. Accepting who you are. I accept me. I accept every part of me. I accept my mistakes. The past, the present, the future mistakes. I accept them as part of me, willing and open to improve. And I respect everybody, because I've also known that Fumi, where I was very cocky once upon a time when I was younger, you have to step into the path of humility. That is better for you. You see, once you know what you can do with the parts of where you have to improve, chef's kiss. I hope this episode kind of sorta makes it very clear for you in how to live a better life. In you living a better life, you started honestly by knowing who you are. By knowing who you are, then you eliminate the I'm not sure. You eliminate them from your core strength, from your tight-knit family. And when I say family, I'm not talking about family. I'm talking about the people that enable you to soar, to really live, to really come up in your life. Those people you keep close. Everybody else out, distance. They become like first cousin, second cousin, third cousin, fourth cousin. It's like a circle with wings. But that core center that keeps you really going and nourished and enriched, that comes from your core. And you know for a fact, this person is good for me. Why is that person good for you? Because that person has made you a better person. And in being a better person, you have learned that, you know what, Fumi, you truly are, and I've heard it, and it is true. I've heard people say, Fumi, you are made for television. You are made for this. I am not a scientist. It's not me. When I was in school, I was great in all the arts. I wasn't good in the sciences. I knew right there and then that I would gravitate towards the arts. But coming from Nigeria, Africa, modeling, acting, that was a kind of what? No. In the 80s, are you kidding me? Yes, it was. But look at me now, 40 years after the fact, I'm still gravitated towards all of this. And it came in the form of YouTube, which only was created when in 2005. Theater, Broadway that I did in high school, I always did it because I realized, for me, you have to be true to who you are. No matter the age, you have to be true to who you are. And so in knowing myself, it's written in the sand. I know where to go or know what to do to earn a living, where I will love what I do, I will love my work, I will love my job, and I will love my co-workers because we share the same passion. You have to be true to who you are, and in so doing, this is what I lived and loved. When I found out or began to discover myself, I realized that it was impossible to wish to be somebody else. Because when I would really look at that other person, there were parts of the person that was not like me at all. Don't forget to like, to subscribe, hit the notification button, and I will see you guys sooner than later. All of my love. This skirt is short. This dress is short, but it's cute. It's like a mini. Can I jump? Can you? They see? It's a mini dress, but I love it. I bought it at H&M in Scotland. Yeah. All right, guys. Mwah.